What's up, everybody? It is the Best Buy Kid Smooth, and finally, I'm able to conduct a video about the Xbox Series X. Of course, I've seen it like everyone else. Very excited that the specs and everything are out there. The size, the ports, like almost the final hardware is just out there. There's like really no more questions about the Xbox Series X. Well, there's a couple questions about the Series X, and that's really pricing. That's what we need to find out. And games, like next gen games running on it, we got to see that. And release date, of course, an exact release date, is it going to be delayed? And this Lockhart thing still exists because the focus has been on the monster that is the Xbox Series X. So as you can see here, we do have some of the specs compared to the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. Man, this thing is like torturing current gen consoles right now. We got 8 cores. There's into at 3.8 gigahertz, and if they want to multi-thread it, they have to downclock it to 3.6, but that's still like it's completely shits on what we had for the last 6 years. Like enlarged. That's why when people's like, "Oh, don't expect 60," I honestly I expect games at 60 frames per second. Like default by default. I expect, unless they're gonna, it's just gonna be like these ray tracing, like every game ray tracing at like 4K or some shit like that. Then I could see them like compromising frame rate. But with these base specs, there's not really a reason to do so. I'm sorry. Obviously, 12 T flops. It was first rumor, Diller, Windows Central, and all of them broke that first. But the funny thing is, you know how they with the Xbox One X, how they met the 6 T flops. It's actually over 12 T flops. It's actually 12.155 T flops, which is kind of insane. And is of custom RDNA2 architecture. 52 CUs at 1.825 gigahertz. Really don't know what that shit means, but I just know it's good. It's in terms of the die size, I really don't care about that shit because I'm never gonna see it. Like when I'm not gonna open up my Xbox to like really care about that. The process stuff, nah. Memory, yeah, the stuff like that I care about because obviously I'm currently with a 980 Ti build. I have a my CPU is an i5-6600, I believe. Clearly, the Xbox Series X shits on my PC right now. It completely shits on it. The memory is 16 gigabytes of GDR6. However, the way that their memory bandwidth is working out is 10 gigs at 560 gigabytes and 6 gigabytes at 336 gigabytes per second. That I don't think I've seen before, the split, but even at the lowest end, is the memory bandwidth is greater, obviously, of the Xbox One X and speed, and of course the memory style, because I think the Xbox One X is GDR5. The IO throughput, really don't care about that. The expandable storage, right? So there's been a lot of talk about the hard drives or the expandable storage. So the Xbox Series X will have a 1 terabyte SSD in NVMe card. I mean, I don't have an NVMe card in my PC currently. I do have an SSD, but it's not of that magnitude. I'll admit I have 2 hard drives. I have a regular hard drive, like a regular hard drive, and then an SSD as well. So apparently, like that's really pretty much a super fast. But the biggest thing that came from this is that when Microsoft announced the expandable, the Seagate SSD that you plug into the back, it's a proprietary plugin for expandable storage. Currently, us Xbox One users, Xbox One X users, we have these. I can plug it. We have these hard drives here. I have two. This is a 2 terabyte external hard drive, and then I have like a 4 terabyte plugged in, which is much bigger, but it also has a power supply, so it plugs to it. I don't feel like unplugging it. I have that hard drive also plugged in by USB, I think 3.0 for both of them. And then obviously the Xbox One X comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive in the Xbox. So obviously 1 terabyte hard drives aren't enough to store like all your games. You could probably get, if you're lucky these days, maybe 7 games, depending on how big they are. So obviously if you don't want to keep installing and uninstalling games, you want to keep all those games installed at once, you have the external drives to run some of the games from. And I have one hard drive full. I have one hard drive that's like half full. So with the Xbox Series X, however, it's not necessarily going to work that way. Sure, you can plug these hard drives in to your Xbox Series X and play those your Xbox One games, your 360 games, and they'll be enhanced. They'll take advantage of the hardware and whatnot. However, those Xbox Series X games, those downloads, you want to install them. Well, it's mandatory that you install them on the internal hard drive that's in the Xbox Series X, or if you are going to put them on the external storage, it has to be on an SSD, and the SSD that they're going to be selling with it is going to be that 1 terabyte Seagate. I'm sure in the future, third parties like Samsung and all these other options, Western and everything, will probably have options, but right now Seagate is the one that's going to be there day one with launch, and the pricing, people are speculating anywhere from $150 to $200 to $250. But honestly, you're giving me a new generation console, and already I wasn't going to dare, even if you could, install an Xbox Series X games or anything with Xbox Series X enhancement on a regular hard drive. Nah, it was going to get installed into the system itself, and I will be getting the expandable storage if necessary, because I don't want to compromise my play at all in any shape or fashion. I'm sorry about the rant on that, but I'm not against it. I'm happy, because that means and this whole holding back thing. Imagine if the games had to run on a regular hard drive, that's a compromise. That's a compromise. So I'm actually happy. This tells me no compromise. Optical drive obviously comes with a 4K UHD Blu-ray drive, and the performance target is 4K at 60 frames per second or up to 120 hertz. Obviously, when I was a betting man, I made a bet that Xbox Series X will have the first game to hit 120 frames per second. So in terms of the console, the next generation consoles, and I think I'm still correct on that. Digital Foundry, Austin Evans, they all got to go to Microsoft campus and play with the Xbox Series X, touch it, build it, see the features, and this thing, every time I see it, and the more you see it in person, it just looks very, very, very like sexy. So here it is. This is all plastered all over the Xbox website. This is the Xbox Series X, fastest, most powerful console, and there it is. That green thing that we thought on the top is not actually an LED. It's just like green piece of plastic that kind of creates like this an illusion, which I really don't mind. It would have been cool if it was the light, but damn, I can imagine like the power draw. But this thing looks like a beast. This time they got two boards. They have a south board and then the board with the SoC. So it's like each board is having like dedication, and you got obviously the SSD in there. You have your disk drive, your power supply, which is internal, of course, the fan that's powering it, everything. They're quoting the Xbox Velocity architecture, which is how they're really getting the most out of the Xbox console in terms of speed. A couple of things that really kind of had me floored was these videos. So my favorite video is the loading. So they're both loading into State of Decay 2. Oh, come on. I missed no, stop. All right. So they're both going to be playing State of Decay 2. They're demoing the load times. So he's on the Xbox. One's on the Xbox One X, and obviously one's on the Series X. Boom. See, the crazy thing about this, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now, a lot of people think that's exaggerated, but it probably is not, because the thing is that when we're waiting for games to load, I'm never actually staring at the screen. I'm actually doing something. I'm tweeting, or I'm doing something else. I'm doing something on YouTube or something like that. So that's why I don't sit there and count. But this is believable. Now, the only time I wasn't doing that was when I was playing Gears 5. Gears 5 day one, I was playing on the Xbox One X. Gaming Addict or Lord Addict was playing on the Xbox One S. And the reason why that is the reason why I'm bringing this story up is because there was the Xbox One X obviously is faster than the Xbox One S. It's faster. So we would play Gears 5, and every time we would die, right, I would load in faster, right? And if since I would be loaded, I'm in the middle of the fight already, and his character would appear, but he's not actually the character because he hasn't loaded into the game yet. So he would literally die before he have actually loaded into the game. So he would load in to another loading screen. That happened to us, and I would literally have to protect his useless avatar until he loaded in the game. And so, yeah, this could be a problem if you're cross-playing with somebody that's on older Xbox hardware. If there's somebody's playing on an Xbox One S and you're playing on the Xbox Series X, yeah, that's going to be a problem, dude. That is going to be a problem. So I would say, Addict, please get an Xbox One X and Series X day one if we're going to be doing these co-op games, because we can't afford for that to happen, because we thought that time lapse was bad with the Xbox One X and Xbox One S. The time lapse between the Series X and the One S is going to be problematic. The other video I want to show is the suspend resume feature on multiple games. I really fuck with this feature, because I'll cycle through multiple games, especially when I rage quit. Like right now, when I'm struggling with Ori 2, I'll go and all right, I'm gonna play the Plague's Tale, and then when I get bored of that, all right, I'm gonna play NBA Live or something like that. That's where this feature stuff like this comes through, because right now, sure, I can suspend, you can have one game on suspend mode, but once you open up a new game, that suspend cancels, and obviously you have to get the whole loading screen and everything. So for optics, I mean, a lot of people ain't gonna see their, publishers won't see their logos a lot if people are have 5 games suspended, and the last state of the game is going to be where they load into is in the middle of a mission or right before a mission and whatnot. So those pop screens and stuff like that, we're probably going to see a lot less of those. But I think this was very dope of what you can do. Of course, they're showing off Xbox One current games. Now, the biggest thing that I have, right, the gripe, because a lot of people keep saying new games, and it's dude, relax. Right now it's March, right? So they're getting this tech stuff talk out the way. By the time we start seeing Series X games, we would have no more questions about the consoles. That's how it should be. We're gonna learn all we can about the console itself, its capabilities, its features, and the raw power underneath the hood. And by the time it starts to show the games, we don't need to ask about the console anymore. So, and that's why why aren't they showing new games, dude? They invited Digital Foundry, they invited Austin Evans. They're doing these tech demos. This is exactly what they did with the Xbox One X. They showed off existing games. Now, when it's time, which is about a month or two to start showing off those new Xbox Series X games, your Halo Infinite, your Playgrounds games, new game, the next Forza, or whatever. We will see the true potential of what of what these early Xbox Series X games can do when it's taking full advantage of the hardware. So I'm not too worried about that, and I think it's the wrong time to ask that question. If you know the rollout phase, this is not like, why would they show you a brand new game right now when they have, really honestly, they have a time and a place to do that. So we all know it's 12 teraflops, over 12 teraflops of power, true 4K, like legit true 4K. I mean, there's no way you should be dealing with dynamic 4K this time around. Up to 120 frames per second and 1 terabyte of custom SSD. I love this image, dude. This might be my next background, bro. Like, Tower of Power. It look like it's creating like a vortex tornado. I don't know. Vapor chamber is back. The heat sink chat. This is a powerful console, bro. This is a powerful console, and no, that's not an LED light. That was confirmed. That's the new memory card that's coming out, which is due to be very expensive. That's what people are saying. The new controller looks sexy. Actually, there's a third-party controller that's almost likely to, like, oh damn, you can't see it because I'm using the green screen, but oh, it's black though. It's almost the same size of that controller. I think that the biggest difference with this one, obviously, we got to bring this middle part down and the bumpers out more. I'm looking forward to that. I will hope to replace all my Xbox controllers with the new Xbox Series X controller, and then hopefully get blessed to have an Elite Series 2 controller, and it's still on track for holiday 2020. I'm going to be doing a ton of videos today. PlayStation 5 reveal is today, so I'll probably go on live. There's also going to be a GameStack live conference today for the Xbox Series X and xCloud. I'm probably going to be going live tonight, going live with that. Also, Planet Xbox podcast is taking place tonight, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is my video. Of course, there's a lot of people asking me about monitors, dude. The Xbox Series X has a ton of slew of features. The monitor rollout, honestly, has been slow, and with this whole virus thing, a lot of things going to be slow. So I got to look at, I'm looking at the existing monitors to see what's up, but the monitors, like, what you want in a monitor, obviously, to take advantage of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Obviously, you want a high-end TV if you want to, like, still play on the TV, but for people like me, I enjoy the monitor now that they got 4K and HDR and all that jazz. You want something that the latest one, obviously, the Series X is HDMI 2.1, so you want something that's over 60 hertz. A lot of 4K monitors, especially 4K HDR monitors, are actually capped at 60 hertz, so you want something that's over 120 hertz. I know Samsung has their QLED to TV that I raved about last year or a couple years ago, but you want something that's over 120 hertz so you can take advantage of those frame rates that they're advertising here. You want something that has some sort of HDR because this console has system learning HDR, like, so games that never had HDR before will have HDR functions because the console learns where its peak brightness is and takes advantages of that. They demoed that at Digital Foundry as well. Obviously, you want a 4K monitor. I mean, we're in a 4K times. And this thing's a 4K beast. You want something with FreeSync. So these are the things that are going to just get the most out of your console, of like high performance, response times, frame rates, fidelity, and I'm still looking. So trust me, when I feel like I found the perfect monitor to pair with the Xbox Series X, I will do a video. Because right now the monitors I'm working with now, sure, they're 4K, they're HDR, however they're capped at 60 hertz. They do have FreeSync, but they're capped at 60 hertz. So the monitor I did have, that Samsung, was dope, but I feel like there's another level they can take it, and so I'm still going to be looking around, and when I do find that perfect monitor for the Xbox Series X, I will do a video for you guys. So thank you guys for taking it. I know this video was very long. I could have went live, but if I would have went live, it would have been a 2-hour stream. So I did not want to take your super chats today. Thank you guys for watching. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.